Hey, tours. Bart coming at you with the mail day. Got some good slabs in, some good stuff. First up, we got a little package in from Four Sharp Corners. Um, Next little side PC is building on the All Star Cups. I did pretty well with All Star trophies. Got a couple All Star Cups here, and we're gonna add some cards to it today. Kind of being a little bit more stingy on the All Star Cups, really going after Hall of Famers or super high enders. All Star trophies, I kind of broadened my horizons a little bit just because I liked them so much in the designs. But there's the Pudge Rodriguez. We got the 78 Andre Dawson. Great looking card with the fresh slab. Got Jeff Bagwell. And I always kind of wanted to do these kind of the side set, but um, when I found the All Star trophies, and that trophy was so much bigger and easier to see, that one grabbed my attention first and foremost. These ones are sometimes a little bit small, especially they can hide in the design sometimes. What year is it? It's McCutcheon's second year. That thing is practically invisible. It's like a white cup, and it's super small. The Griffey, I always wanted this card for forever. The 10 was like $72 on Four Sharp Corners for probably 2 straight years, and I just never pulled the trigger. Kind of wanted it for like 50, and now it's 250, and I just couldn't get myself. That's just blown out of proportion. So went with the 9, great looking 9 in a fresh lab, and that will display nice. And then since I was on Four Sharp, they had one of these. I just needed it to fill a setup. I think Joe Jacoby, one of the old hogs of the Washington Redskins, I think he'll be in the Hall of Fame someday. And I was not going to spend for a 10, and these are cheap, less than $20 for a 9. One of the worst looking 9s you'll find as far as centering and stuff like that. And of course, Four Sharp Corners has got multiples. So the next day they relist another 9, and it looked better than this one. But oh well, this was never going to be for resale value or anything like that. But if he hits the Hall of Fame, I don't want to have to pay 70, $80 for that someday just because he made it. So I figured to knock it out for 16, $17 or something. Pick this up at random. I just don't know what I'm doing with basketball right now. I want to do a bunch of basketball, but I'm not sure how I want to do it. I had the idea of kind of if you had like a dynasty or something like that, picking a year where the cards of the main players in that, let's say dynasties might be not the best word, but teams that you knew, if they all look kind of similar or something, so um, say 88, you get the Malone and the Stockton of the same year, and then like 89, you get in whatever set Fleer or Hoops or something, you get the Jordan and the Pippen, and a 90, you get the not that I'm looking for consecutive years, but a 90, you get like the Pistons, and you get Dumars and Isaiah and Rodman or something like that, and they all kind of match. But that's really been difficult. I can't find a year where still Stockton and Malone have the same damn uniform on. Like every year, one's in purple while the other one's in white on the card. Plus, I'm really kind of picky on the cards themselves. Like I want to see the person clearly. I want to see the logo on the jersey. I want to see the numbers type of thing. And so there's definitely some cards where they wanted to get you an action photo. Well, it's so far zoomed out, you see more arena than you see players. So that's throwing me off, and I'm really not figuring it out, trying to find these matches and stuff like that. I do have a good bit of 90 Fleer at PSA right now, about 10 of them or so. And some of those grades, whether they came out to what I'm looking for, will dictate some of that, but we'll see. So for right now, I'm just chipping away, and then we'll see what I end up with. But um, slowing way the hell down on Project 2020s, but Sophia Chang. Um, It's the one I've been going after nonstop the whole time. So I missed this one. I don't know who else is still doing Tops 20 Project 2020, but the app has just been terrible on the phone, and it's just not been working so many times. And I think this came out on like a Friday. I missed it, and so I was like, oh, I'll just I'll get it online or something like that when I get home, get to the computer. But I forgot about it on Saturday, so I just missed the window. So I got this aftermarket for I saved a couple bucks on it. Did get this one. The app was still not working properly, so I don't know if it's not aligned well with the iOS updates or something, but did have to sign in on the computer. But every once in a while, the app works perfectly fine, so I don't know how that goes. But here's the Big Mac. A little too heavy on the green for me. I'd rather if the outside border wasn't green per se, but still pretty cool. Fits in well with hers overall, but those aren't by any. Those are probably the two worst looking ones so far. Sucks that they're kind of consecutive like that, but it is what it is. Another All Star trophy. I don't plan on getting many of these raw, but some of them are harder to find than others. But the cool thing about this, because I'm not going to have an SP Authentic Ichiro or Pujols at any point. Um, you just never see me that dedicated to the cause for those cards. But the All Star Cups allow me to get a bunch of cards that have players that I didn't have for All Star trophies or something like that. So that's why I wanted to do both kind of little side sets there. And in 2002, Ichiro and Pujols both have All Star Cups. Super tiny, but still pretty cool cards. And what's kind of neat if you display them together, the little cups and the trophies when on the bigger ones, they just pop out a little bit more. So that'll be neat. I think I could probably get an 8 out of that because it's sharp. It's just not centered very well. And we'll see if I sub it. Obviously, I just have it, so if I can find one slabbed already, great. Like I said, I didn't know what I was doing with basketball. There are a couple of 81 tops that I really like that I'm going to get no matter what. The Irving, the Kareem, and the Bird. They were on my watch list for years. Every time most of the time at 4 Sharp Corners or something, and once it sold, I unwatched it obviously or deleted it, and then the next one would list and I would watch it. But I just never pulled the trigger. Obviously regretting that decision, of course, because those prices have shot up. But this one was for a 9. I got it for like $22, Robert Parrish, and so we'll see. The Kevin McHale, who's also a Celtics, like I said, I kind of want to get some matching ones. So if I got this and the Bird and the McHale, you'd kind of have that trio there. The McHale is not the greatest photo, but it is his rookie for a Hall of Famer. So we'll see what we end up there. But just couldn't pass up a deal like that for on a 9 because I will not be getting 9s of the other ones by any means. And then 2 more All-Star Cups. Got the Gary Carter in a 7. Great looking 7 there. Well centered and everything. And since these are mostly for display, there's no reason to spring for the 8 if a 7 looks just as good. It's out of 76. And also from 76, we got the Jim Rice. So we'll see. There's not a ton of older ones that I'll get for the All-Star Cups. I'm indecisive right now on Fred Lynn. He's not a Hall of Famer, but 9 All-Stars, 300 homers, MVP and Rookie of the Year at the same time, and also a 1976 card like these two. So that would be kind of cool. And then of course there's Eddie Murray rookie, which has always been on my list because he's a 500 homer guy, but haven't gotten around to it. Put in some offers. Everybody was being a little stingy. I can get what I need, from an auction eventually when I want to. And then 2 more things. Add to the little magazine collection. I do these random magazine searches just to see what I'm gonna pull up, and every once in a while I'm just scrolling, and I'm like, I'll tag some watch list, but really, it has to pop at me, and it's like, all right, because I'm only going to display a couple of magazines, right? It's not going to get ridiculous, and I don't need to have piles of them sitting in the closet or anything. And this one came across, and it was just like done deal. And so I just had to make sure that I wasn't overpaying for the one I was looking at compared to some others, but I wasn't. No label on it, just all-time iconic look to it. sweetness with the headband. A little bit of Jared Curl going on there. Breaks Jim Brown's rushing record. So this is from '84, and he just broke Jim Brown's rushing record. Passed him with I think he ended up at like 12,317 or something. I read the article there, and which was pretty neat, but really cool there. So it kind of denotes a key point in the NFL and history, right? He broke that record and held it for a long time. So pretty cool, and just I mean, you can't get upset looking at that photo, right? Pretty sweet. And then one more. This one ended up being way thicker than I thought it would be. So the top loader for these magazines barely fits it because it's kind of warped in there. But Street and Smiths from 1988. I wanted a basketball one, and I was like, oh crap, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna have so many basketballs, so um, I'd have to be real selective on what I find to display. And wouldn't you know it, kind of the three biggest folks from when I was growing up started watching basketball, all on one. Couldn't beat that. So Street and Smiths from 1988. Exactly what I was looking for. Money in the bank. So that's what I got for you. Sweet little mail day. Happy Thursday. And take care. Later.